Kia ora, dear listener or viewer, and welcome back to Zealand. Fair warning, Zealand is set within a post-apocalyptic world, and so we will be exploring some of the darker natures of humanity. If you are squeamish or the idea unsettles you, please take your chance now to walk away. For now, we return to Zealand.
Kia ora, Legionnaires, Rycon here, and welcome back to Zealand. As you can see, we have a vidette here. And in the last, we made it back to the bunker, the three of us that were away, and I managed to recover somewhat. I don't have the use of my left arm fully, and it looks like the wound on my neck was a bit more severe than we might have thought at first, but with transfusions and vet operations, I'm somewhat stitched back together, albeit still very weak. And I think we finished all around a table, not unlike this one, having dinner and discussing what the future might bring for us. So, Skulk.
Right, so over your dinner of fried fish, rice and dried fruits, making a nice little seafood risotto.
Could be worse.
I know,
Could be
it's
worse.
not too bad.
Yeah.
I've got enough salt to make it taste good, so.
Yeah.
There's motion outside.
Just cook everything in the salt and water, and it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So plans are being made, schemes and plans. One thing that as he wants, what should we do? The doc does speak up from his little corner of the table and does just like look at you and say you're not going anywhere, man.
I don't plan to go anywhere, but if needs must. Right now we're safe underground. No, you're not going anywhere. Yeah.
You shall not.
While you've been sitting there, I disconnected your spinal cord. You can't move. No, I mean, we don't have to go anywhere right now, but I think if there's any chance of those folks still being alive and kicking out there, knowing that there's fresh infected roaming around means that, places are still falling. Mm-hmm. And that means that there's people still out there that, might be able to be brought in.
Yep. I'm all about wanting to help people. Especially if we can meet that old crew. It might be easy to do that further as well in the future.
We thought about resources if we're going to have more mouths to feed.
Well, there was enough for 60 here, so we're looking pretty good still.
Once we get that, we're
Not to try.
about ready to start kind of full blown into the horticulture as well. So it's all set thanks to these guys preparing it while we're.
You said one of them was a chemist, right?
Yeah, she was, yeah.
So that could make up for any food lost.
Let's have her back. Pipe bombs need work.
Yeah.
Fertilizer bombs.
But I'm not planning on, sailing off anytime soon.
Yeah.
I think we can make the boat safer as well.
That could be a great idea. Whether we just kind of hunt around for things to attach to the side, or even make some kind of canopy to protect from things being able to jump on board. We've had too much experiences with that recently.
Well, I mean, you can get below deck if there's bats, but that can only, last for so long.
And it depends how much people we've got on the boat at a time, and how much can fit in the hull and stuff.
I was thinking your rifle might be worth us trying to make some kind of bipod or, a stand that can work with that.
Yep.
Combined with the telescope that I've got, if we have both of those on deck, if there's anything on land, we can take it out from far away.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. I can have Nick as a spotter, and that's good enough for me.
I think the two of those things combined could make a difference. And I whipped this up without too much struggle. If I can find... This is my spear. Yeah. My fist. My fist. I whipped up this fist with no trouble.
I thought you were talking about a bracelet.
Yeah.
You make me one.
Yeah.
Friendship bracelets for all.
Yeah.
What he doesn't tell you is those are charred bones.
Yeah. If we...
That guy's already done that.
Yeah, I mean, if we had some more of these, if there's anything that's coming up the sides, we can help keep them down for longer. Another thing as well. If we are taking the boat out again, another possible solution to things coming close to us or being a problem for us, you mentioned fertilizer bombs before, right? You had one of those bombs on the bridge.
Yeah.
If we could create some kind of like flotation device around them, just something to keep them, it could be old milk jugs, something that could keep it afloat. And if we had something that produced light and sound, or even,
Traps.
you know what, meat. If we have old fish, if we can fill those jugs full of, you know,
Sounds
a
probably
combination
an
of
option.
air and fish,
It's-
drop that in the water.
Light might be a better option than sound, because sound tends to travel a lot further in the water, and we don't want to attract things that are not already attracted to us.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Very
But
fair.
I like your idea in the sense if it was like a mobile thing, so we're not. It's not necessarily following us behind the boat, but when we need a distraction, we can put it into
Chuck it into the water.
Like we already have the advantage of low level of sound when trapping off a sailboat. So it was a cool idea, I think. I mean, you just have to be careful with like something like a fertilizer bomb, though, because they're pretty.
Yeah, my last one had a little bit of a timer issue. I didn't know when it was going to go off. It was
Be
like
careful.
10
Maxine,
seconds or a
also,
minute.
Yeah.
Maxine also says, like, shouldn't we use the fertilizer for, you know, the hydroponics?
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
You know, keep us fed.
Yeah.
It's why I got those electrical circuit boards, was to see if I can suss out a timer for those things. But yeah, having a couple of those on hand might be the best thing, especially if you go on board.
Yeah. We can keep some of the fish that we have left that's not so good, the guts and all the rest. Keep that in a chili bin.
Yeah.
It'll smell freaking horrible,
Oh, yeah.
but I think the smell could still attract.
Yeah.
For the
Keep
same
it in salt
reason.
water, and it'll be, you know.
For the same reason, we don't want to use sound as the attractor. Fertilizer goes off, bomb goes off in water. It's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I guess it's more of a
Oh shit!
Last resort.
last resort.
Yeah.
Things are really, really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things are not to be used willy-nilly. The limbs will be lost. I don't think we've got too many of those left to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had small-scale explosives, if we could attach them to, like, halfway up the base of a spear, I'm still pretty good at throwing things. Lodge that into something in the water, or hell, even
Something with
just
an impact.
stick it into it.
Something with an impact-based detonation.
Yep.
So that triggers a detonation or impact. Yeah, that would be an interesting.
Well, how about we kind of.
I mean, I've got my chemistry station set up. I'll give some prototypes a go.
There wasn't any dynamite right here. There wasn't
Only
anything.
gunpowder.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, gun-
From the ammunition, so you'd have to,
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah.
like, the more bombs you make, the less ammunition you have for guns.
No, I was just trying to remember if they had anything stashed away.
Hey, there's that whole room of C4.
Yeah. The magic C4 room just behind
Yes.
door number 6.
Yeah.
If we can get more ammunition or things that could potentially mix into explosions, that would be more resources for me to build that sort of shit. But yeah.
Yeah, how about we just focus on kind of reinforcing the boat?
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
that'd be a good
definitely.
thing. And
Yeah.
That's a later nice to have project.
what else? Anyone have any other kind of big, you know, like immediate plans for what we could do around here, or places we could try? I mean, we could try the radio with the, you know, the channel that originally we talked about when they're around the coast. They were going to try us, so there's a very small chance maybe we could come out, but.
I mean, with us not in full strength,
Yeah.
it might not be a good idea to
Yeah,
start
just-
broadcasting
yeah, yeah.
locations just willy-nilly.
Yeah,
because that can get dangerous.
Yeah. Just still give it a while.
We'll wait till we get
Let's work on the boat
back on
while,
your feet for the most part.
while you're getting us stretched back. We can do stuff and just build up the defenses here, resources here.
It might not be such a bad idea for someone to go scouting nearby to see if there's any other places we can start gathering resources from.
Throughout this whole time, Nick and Jake's been very quiet.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. But they do speak up and say they've got plans. And they say that, it's with all the stuff that you've already, just talked about, it's going to, take you maybe a couple of months, and it's going to take Rycon a couple of months to, heal back up, the wound on the neck, and just the fact that everyone can see you're breathing very laboriously.
Oh, yeah. Lungs not good.
Yeah, you sound like a chain smoker asthmatic, with lung cancer. So they say everyone is pretty much going to be stuck here, and it's already been several months since Ghost Island. That means it's been at least four, maybe 5 months since that very brief visit to Great Barrier, where Jake lost his wife and unborn kid.
Yeah.
Not like unborn zombie,
No,
but
it was not born at the time.
not yet born.
Yes, not yet born.
No, it was.
Yeah. I mean, it could be for all we know.
Very late in
Yeah.
pregnancy.
So I mean, it might already be Jake's kid and Jake's wife.
Yeah.
So while everyone is pretty much going to be stuck here for the time being, Jake and Nick has decided that they'll go see what can be done. They're
Take on Great Barrier themselves.
They don't want to take on, but I mean, their rationale is, well, one, they don't want to bring anyone else along. I mean, the only other able-bodied person really here is Richard, and they know Richard wants to stay close to Rycon at the moment. And anyone else that comes along is dead weight to them, but also it leaves you with even less people here. And they don't want to. What their plan is see if they can sneak in and sneak out. That's their idea. They can't take on Great Barrier. I mean, Jake says we all believe that Great Barrier assaulted the bridge. Yeah. They can do that. There's no chance that Nick and Jake can actually win against a fight. But maybe all they have to do, sneak in, sneak out. They also want to have a look at the bridge, because if Great Barrier has now influence there, maybe they only ever have to go to the bridge. They didn't even have to go to Great Barrier. Maybe his wife's there. Because it's his wife and her whole family.
Yeah. It'd be good to know if the bridge is being controlled by Great Barrier or Eden or some other faction.
Third party.
I think it would also be fair to say that the reason that Richard shouldn't go as well is due to the fact that they were very protective about who had been there, who hadn't been there. Even if the two of them were caught, there's a chance they might be able to talk their way out of that situation because they are already aware of the settlement that's there.
Yeah, they're known entities.
Yeah. Whereas,
I mean, to be honest with you guys, I think you've got more of a chance of this working for you. If it is just you two, you'll be less visible. I guess you can take the old brother Ducky.
Oh, they want to go across land. They say they'll just, gap it, get any car they can, just pretty much as quick as possible, in and out. That's 20 minutes max. That's their plan.
Scout it out, basically.
Yeah. And if nothing happens out of it, nothing happens. But
they just see it as an information trip, guys. Because if you do need more help, and if you do find anything out, we can help. We can definitely come with you next time.
Don't forget the dead man trigger trick as well. The thing I used on you guys when I first showed up. Find yourself a nice, scary-looking case. Grab any kind of remote, anything you can. That's it.
I'll grab just a random piece of electronics that you found.
Wrap some gaffer tape around that. Tell them it's a dead man's trigger, and that if your thumb comes off it, what's in that case is going to be exposed, exploded. Whatever takes your fancy on the day. It's maybe a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Maybe not free.
They'll take it. They hope it never gets to that point, But it's, for Jake specifically, it's just gotten, the whole thing was you guys were already supposed to have taken over the bridge by now and have gone, It was never supposed to last this long. So for him, it's just, he's very adamant and he's going, and Nick is, he asked Nick to come along and Nick said, yeah.
How are you planning to get there?
Walk it. They want to they'll go, if they can find a car, it'll be good, but for them, they want to be as quiet as possible, last if anyone poked their head out properly, there was still a helicopter on that distance a month ago, so that if they can walk it, at least there's no noise. Maybe for a bicycle it still works.
It's a hell of a journey. But
It is, but they're
also
thinking
fucking Olympic sprinters, effectively at this stage.
they're thinking maybe it'll take a week walk down at best, and that's with them being extra cautious. So
So you guys are just planning to walk basically to the bridge, and then if they're not there, potentially finding some kind of form of a vessel or boat to get to Barry after that.
yeah, I mean, so the plan is scout out the bridge, see what's happening there, don't get too close.
Don't forget there was still, like a few boats around, the port still now
Yeah.
and again, and there's a few different ports along that coast, so there's chances that you would find one workable one.
Yeah, it's more or less like if worst case scenario, they'll just walk across the east coast until they find something they can just scooch across to Great Barrier. They're thinking maybe they'll have to go to get a boat across the east Auckland, maybe come up from the south, where Great Barrier won't be expecting it. So they could be. They're saying they're hoping to make it a 2-month trip. That's just them being extra cautious.
Yeah. Slow and steady.
sure. I mean, we have what we need here to survive, to make it.
Give them one of the walkies.
We don't hear back from you in about 2 months. We presume you're dead.
Yeah,
Stay on this channel.
yeah, but I mean, at the moment, Jake says, since we're out, since you stop seeing us through your scope, presume we're dead. Don't take chances, And he says he won't take a walkie, just in case anybody takes his walkie and it's still in the channel or it's something happens.
Right.
You know where we are.
On the way back, if you do have one, use the right channel.
Yeah, they'll make sure to find something
Yeah.
to come back, because they won't take anything. Everything they even said, they've restarted getting their bags together. Nothing that'll look like it's come from here, or they'll make sure that they'll plant false trails and everything.
We'll keep listening as well. We'll make sure that we do a check midday, midnight. Those will be the 2 times specifically that we'll be looking out for you guys.
Yeah.
I feel like that would work.
Yeah. If we hear anything about people spotting you, there's no really way we can
Yeah,
know or what you're up to, so it's a big risk, but
it is.
please just slow, stealthy, maybe even as much as the kind of camouflage looking stuff we have there. Maybe Jake and Nick need to alter their outfits a little bit, and
That's what Gilly's story.
No, I don't.
Not. I think at Goat Island there was, but
did at Goat Island.
all the good stuff.
How
was
much
literally-
of your armor did you guys get back at the bridge? Because you guys originally had chainmail.
Don't think.
we
no.
could only for I grabbed my stuff
Yeah,
and
you
that
got your
bag of all
stuff.
the ammunition
Yeah.
and stuff, but we were in a hurry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna manage to get that bomb for you.
Yeah,
and your gun.
my priority was my gun.
Yeah, no, fair.
Armor's fine and all, but I generally stay far enough away where I don't really.
That's fair.
Good.
The only thing I've got is my shoulder brace and undie because I never took it off.
Yeah.
Still got that knife up your.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what they have in terms of protection on their chest. I know they've got full.
I think they've got flak.
fireman's
Jake's in a full fireman's outfit.
Do they have strong armor or?
I can't remember.
Or
Honestly, I can't.
sturdy? Because sturdy's -25, strong's -35.
I think it's -25 because I know at least Jake's helmet is a sturdy one, -25, because he got the first wound to the head he got, the significant.
Yeah.
But so they both got sturdy armor all around.
I'd kind of get up from the table and I'd hobble back into the room, the quarantine room that I've been in for the last wee while, and I'll kind of walk out. And I'll have underneath my arm, holding onto the spear, the breastplate.
Didn't you lose it in the river?
No. I had it on, and that's the problem, is that Jake got me up onto the boat, Richard started trying to do CPR, and I was like, breastplate, man. Yeah.
Tink tink.
You've got such a rigid chest.
Yeah. And I kind of plop it down on the table, and I just say,
Yeah, good for Nick.
that's saved my life more than a few times, and it could do the same for either of you.
Yeah, Nick. I mean, yeah, probably a bit.
Jake's still a bit too broad, but yeah.
Nick takes it gladly.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I'm gonna get shot in the chest now.
Not if I can help it.
Yeah, he'll go for the head.
You want.
Yeah. So
But
when
still
you...
might. There's
Yeah, I was going to probably ask the same thing.
When you head up,
I'm going, yeah.
first thing in the morning. So
Yeah.
they will only take what they can carry, and they won't even take that much. Only the barest minimum just to get them on the road and get them out. You know, they just need to get through the Badlands, and then they'll scavenge what they need.
Right, cool.
And Jay can carry plenty, so
Yeah, no,
They'll
he's
ration.
got his carrying speciality.
so they'll ration as much as they can, and yeah, all they're looking is just to get back to civilization, and then they'll make do with what's left over from the city.
Right. Well, look, if everything goes swimmingly, you'll get back here, family in tow, and things will still be looking good here. Better than okay.
Yeah.
If we've got time to get everything running as it should be, it could be looking pretty good. So, yeah. I'm not going to say goodbye now.
No, that can wait till the morning.
Yeah. Well, look. Do we want to celebrate?
about alcohol dying.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We're all still alive.
Yeah.
At least for a little while longer.
I'm constantly keeping an eye out on Doc's lunch tray.
Yeah, but he just gets a paper plate now.
Yeah, he does.
Not one to 10 down and drink, especially after we're
Hey, chopsticks.
Right.
Oh, he can stab someone with chopsticks.
Get really blunt ones.
Get a fire going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it whiskey or sake that we found here? I don't know why.
We
I'm
have
thinking
whiskey
it's-
and
They have like a crap ton of like spirits.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of spirits. I'll mix us some drinks if I can. From what supplies we have. Like if they've got anything that's carbonated, that's still okay.
Carbonate probably not, but I'm like they've
Probably not
got
carbonated anymore, but like if they've got soda water and
yeah,
stuff like that.
they've got like baking soda if you want to make like really shitty carbonated yourself. But
Yeah, I will experiment. I'll experiment. I'll try and make a few drinks. Yeah, I'll
at
probably
least
not,
yeah, you're just like there's alcohol.
I'll
in it.
probably not use like the very very off Baileys, but like I'll use other liqueurs and stuff like
That's
that.
just curd.
Yeah.
I think that's just Bailey's cheese.
Yeah, there'll be some of those,
You
those,
chew
like,
it.
they call the,
Cheese with a layer of pure alcohol.
cherries.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Cherry juice.
Yeah.
Like those
Eat it on
cocktail
crackers.
ones. That stuff lasts forever.
Yeah. No,
I
I
put a stick in there and stir it up before.
yeah, I'd mix this all up some
peanut butter.
drinks. I do request as best I can, and yeah. Although I will probably take it quite slowly. Like I'll
Yeah.
probably have just one drink, but
Absinthe.
I'll keep it flowing. Keep it flowing for everyone else. Yeah. I'll
So
just
it's a
have
very nice
one
night,
drink of
yeah.
absinthe.
Just one. Yes, it's a very nice night. Everyone enjoys themselves. I mean, like with just one meal, and if you've been eating all right, but still, like not enough to like counteract any amount of booze. So you're all well pissed. But it is a very nice night, and you will wake up with a hell of a hangover.
I guess they probably wouldn't have gone as hard as we did, knowing that we had a big mash tomorrow.
No, they would have just been like faking it, just like nursing the same drink all night.
Yeah.
All right, so the morning comes, and everyone's like grogging, going, "Oh, fucking need some water, some Gatorade, and a bacon egg pie."
Past since we left Eden.
Yeah. The goodbyes are as quick and as painless as Nick and Jay can make it. And as they really don't want long goodbyes. They pretty much just go, "Yeah, see ya, bye," and they're out as quickly as possible.
And just as like Nick is leaving, I just like pull the strap a little bit more on the breastplate, make sure it's properly in place.
Thanks, man. And then they're off.
Good luck.
From up top, you see them cut pretty much a straight way the way you came back through all those pit traps, and then they're over the hill.
I'm keeping an eye on them until I see them disappear through my once they become like specks on my scope. I'm switching to a telescope and keeping an eye on them until they completely disappear out of sight.
Yeah. Nothing, comes out of this, nothing else. You just see those two lonely figures walking off into the distance until they crest a hill, and then they're gone.
Yep.
Stop a kilometre away and off themselves.
Yeah.
Well,
And then they pull out all the booze, and then you come back and they've got on all the booze.
Yeah.
Come back down. Well, they did.
What were those mysterious gunshots I heard?
Yeah, they came from right above us.
Alright, so now what is the plan of action? We
Well-
discussed it all last night, so what do you want to do?
I don't remember it anymore.
My short term is to try and like watch my fitness as much as possible. Like I'm going to push myself, to a limit. But like I will try to walk around as much as I can. I will try to get myself out of breath.
That's very easy.
Yeah, for sure.
Standing up.
Yeah. And
I'll probably end up training with him just because ever since we got here, I've set up like little punching bags and all bags,
yeah,
but
that's
like
right,
the
yeah.
beds that weren't
Yeah.
being used anymore. I was using as punching bags for a little bit of exercise.
Don't take a bed roll together.
yeah.
So I'll start to
I'll
work out through it.
I'll take the exercise time as well to practice using my spear just with the one hand and just kind of like having more of like a side stance while using it. And then, later at night I'll take my arm down and I'll just still try to use my hand in like whatever I can just to try and keep things, moving.
So you've got some movement, but it is very arthritic, would we say? So you can like, and your grip strength is barely anything. You can maybe like, if you do this, hold a spoon.
Yeah.
But that's about like the extent of how you can use that hand.
And that's the thing is I'll keep doing that. So like I'll be like each night I'll be sure that I'm doing that to just try and keep things still so that there's not going to degrade further. And from there I would be interested in trying to make some more protective clothing, but that's like a little bit more.
We could go long term,
I would be working on the boat and reinforcing that. Probably trying to first of all draw up some kind of like plans of like what we could do with the amount of resources we already have, and then maybe might have to collect some natural resources that are not too far from where we are. There's not a lot of it's wasteland. There might be stuff we can use that we have around anyway, like knitting or gathering any kind of timber or anything that's around.
Because like in this like the stock here, there are some like
Tarps and
there's like some building material that can be used.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to try and make it almost like a just so it's more covered on the actual roof rest of the or like
There is a whole area below deck.
Also, like the sail does have to be able to like to swing.
And
for
you
sure,
need visibility when you're sailing.
I just mean like almost like kind of just like around the actual sides, like kind of making it more of a fence.
Yeah.
So not like obviously we can still see visibility because that's quite low on us, but just like blocking it off more, kind of strengthening it, and then maybe looking at making some kind of like sharp things around the actual side of. Obviously, we'll leave space for us to access, so it's easy to get off a one particular vantage point. That's really easy to just get on.
So do you want to like go bring the like pretty much like beach that boat so you can like come work on it, or okay?
Yeah. But yeah, and then I guess probably that's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, it would. It'd be beach it. It would be slightly on its side.
Yeah.
You could work on it, and if you did need to get it back into the water eventually,
Everyone can just push.
well, that
At high tide.
that or try and fuel up one of the diggers to push it back out.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Or use a dinghy. See if you can like tow it or something pushing it.
yeah, even like a little bit at high tide. Yeah, sure.
That's good. Tide. Yeah, just beach it for a little bit whilst working on it. I don't know like so much of what we could use for like the outer layer, or the kind of like sharp things, but I guess there's probably some scrap metal around from like the actual container.
So like in the container ship, there's plenty of scrap metal just from the way they've had to like cut through some areas to like make it more livable. And
I guess the only thing is like, how would you attach that though? Would you like? I don't know if we have any welding equipment.
they would, they probably wouldn't have that, but they'll have a crap ton of rivets and riveting guns and things.
Yeah, and obviously I'd be like, I'm no engineer, so I would definitely be asking everyone's advice and what do you think is actually like.
As long as it doesn't put a hole in the boat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like just realistically, like drawing up a
like
kind of plan.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, those things got used up way early.
Right, that,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So probably to keep working on that for a while.
All right, Dan, what's your plans, short and long?
I'd probably start sort of making lists and drawing ideas for the thing I was thinking of, sort of having a look at what sort of stuff we have, just sort of making blueprints for looking at building a wood gas engine.
Okay.
As something for a long-term plan for alternative for
Okay.
all this diesel if we end up staying here long term.
Yeah. So Maxine's as keen to help with that, so she'll help you out because, like, with working through all the manuals that they've written out, future-proofing a thing. They didn't specifically talk about that, but there's more than enough. Oh, I mean, you could as well. There's more enough like engineering 101 stuff in there to like say if you do this sort of thing happens. And so between so you can grab some of that stuff for the boat. And like between you and Max, you can start figuring out how to build like some sort of machine to like turn wood into fuel you can use to run the generators or to hook up to the generators.
Yeah.
With my plans, I'm helping out wherever I can, just because I don't have any specialized skills. Aside from being able to shoot things, that's not very useful in this scenario. But yeah, I'll help out wherever I can, and between training with Scott, keeping an eye out upstairs, and lending a hand wherever possible, I want to start working on some prototypes for the explosives that we were talking about. That's sort of more of a come up with a few different options and show everyone what they are and where they can be implemented. So what I'll do is I'll get like an amount of fertilizer so as to not use up most of it for this, and it's mainly for the hydroponics. But I'll get an amount of it, and then that'll be I'll need to work off of that to work on my explosives.
Okay.
So I'm attempting to make an impact-based one, so something that goes off an impact but isn't a very big explosion. It's just a small sort of controlled.
Like a grenade almost.
Yeah.
No, not a big
Yeah.
explosive grenade. Something that you could attach to the end of spear, like you were saying. So
Shitty
you
mine.
throw it, like a shitty mine. You throw it, it hits, and there's like a small explosion enough to cause like a
like a shape charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, and then I'm also going to try and create that flotation device thing, and then also try and build a timer for my big explosives, which I already have an understanding of how to build, so I'm not building those. I'm building smaller, more controlled explosions for different purposes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for working on those plans, everyone gets a +20 to their roll. And like this is not like if you fail, it's not like it doesn't work. You've got literally all the time in the world.
Yeah.
So this is just like how well you do it.
The only question I had for my protective clothing is what kind of clothing did we have access to here?
Clothing. Like at
Clothing?
base, you've got a few leather items, but that's not like medieval leather. That's just like like a fashionable leather jacket type
For
thing.
sure. What I would
I'll
do.
start wearing one of those.
What I'm going to do with some of the kind of like the tough material is that I'm going to effectively make them into a gambeson. So I'm just going to layer the different fabrics as best I can and kind of stitch them up so that they're sealed. It's going to be a little bit bulky, but not so much that it's going to like completely impede my movement. But I'm going to try and make at least. Well, depending on how much time I have, I'll try and make a few of them.
Okay.
So it'll be a gambeson for the torso, which will cover torso and arms, and I will try and do something similar for the legs, and try and fashion like any kind of like basic protection, like with straps, and even just like trying to like bend like any kind of metal or any material that we have to try and like fit around the thighs, just so that it can be like a little bit of extra protection. That'll be my goal on those, to try and see if I can achieve that.
So
One of the other things that I also want to take a look at is alternative explosive material. So if they've got any chemistry 101 type of books, run through those.
How to make boom.
how to make boom? They
that's how to make boom, just more
that's one thing they don't, because they never. So the any weapon stuff they have is only about what they currently got, and then they have non-chemical weapons, in the sense that they were expecting that the ammunition run out. So they actually have stuff on how to make bows and arrows, how to make crossbows. So that is what they went in, more the sort of missile projectile weapons rather than anything chemistry.
Well, I'm not looking for how to make a bomb. I'm looking for how chemistry works.
Oh, no. So that's what I mean. Like, there's nothing really chemistry involved.
Cool.
Even though they have chemical weapons, technically, guns.
Cool, that's fine. In that case, I'm gonna try and do that through.
Okay,
trial and error.
that'll be like a bit later. You've got
long term.
Yeah,
trial and error.
Yeah, you've got more than enough then on your hands.
I think I would also because that wouldn't take the longest time. It would just be like simple reinforcing of the corrugated iron and stuff around the boat. I would also start finding a little bit of land and start trying to dig up the actual earth to see if it's healthier underneath.
Okay.
So see if the top is mostly just wasteland, because it's been quite a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So maybe the fires that maybe the earth underneath is still.
Yeah, you don't have to go too far for topsoil.
To start maybe loading out a little crops for things that we could maybe, if we gather enough, we find different old other crops around that we can come back, and stuff that we can't grow in hydroponics. For instance, if we managed to find a cornfield, something like that would be really
The
useful.
only argument I'd have to that is that any growing we do would have to be very far away from where we are, because the second that we have stuff outside, we draw attention to the fact that
I mean, it would be close enough, but out of sight from the ocean, particularly.
Spend time manually digging and
Yeah.
expand out the hydroponics into an underground farm.
Yeah, but stuff like corn is you can kind of leave to do its thing, as compared to other.
For sure,
things,
I think I'd just be more concerned about there being a wasteland and there being
A cornfield.
corn getting grown. It seemed
Yeah, I mean,
There's a suspicious amount of corn
if
here.
they're gonna spot something like that, they're gonna see the diggers and
the diggers are
boats
covered
and
in sand.
stuff. Oh yeah, true,
We've hidden everything.
I mean,
as best as we
the
can.
huge barge boat is still, shipwrecked there. That still gives a lot of attention. And
But yeah, I mean, digging for topsoil at least is a good first step.
just plot it out. And
Okay,
Just a quick question. With them sort of cutting through sides of containers and stuff to make dolls, what were they using for that? Did they have shears, angle grinders?
Back then they had angle grinders and stuff to cut through, but they weren't doing super industrial stuff because they worked on a boat. They were just well, since it's on its side, I cannot be asked going 20 meters up. I know there's a room right there.
Right there. Yeah,
so
yeah.
they would just cut a little paste just so you could shimmy through just to save yourself sometimes. So it was for convenience and laziness sake rather than doing a proper job.
Yeah.
If we look at the beach ship's manifesto, can we find tools of any sort in there that have not been taken already?
No, everything you can find copies of tools that they've already got, but they've on top of all their own tools they've got.
Pretty stocked.
Yeah, that was one of the things. So they were half of them are builders, so they were let's get all the good stuff.
Yeah. Was there any surplus? I guess they would have already grabbed all the non-perishable food items if they were learning.
Yeah.
So do you think they were
It's mostly sort of niche stuff where I could use it for this thing it's not intended for.
Yeah.
There's plasma TVs and
internet bought things. Etsy stuff.
There's
So it was plus 20.
Right, yeah, so plus 20. So, back to the rolls. So, broadcraft for you two.
Fine craft for me?
No, broadcraft. Clothing is more looking at the holistic view of getting the pattern right and the shape right, rather than stitching is stitching.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's more getting the pattern correct rather than doing the handheld stitching. Because once you get the pattern, if you do need help, Maxime can come help with the actual stitching.
Okay.
While you're working
Because the
with
thing
the
is,
pattern.
I'm just adding, I'm layering clothing.
Yeah, you're looking at the pattern rather than the
I'm
thing.
having a real hard time at everything I'm doing apparently, because I rolled 100.
Whoa, you're just hammering away at the boat for the whole time. Everything, you will get it done even at 100.
Yeah. What's up?
Max, was it short for Maxine?
Mackenzie?
We don't know. Actually,
Because I remember we.
Yeah, she's Irish. Could be, I don't know. Could
Yeah,
be some
yeah.
weird Gaelic name that she's
Yeah.
screw it, just call me Max.
Yeah.
I think it was because she got
Mackenzie.
pissed off because I called her Kenzie once as a.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that.
That is
Yeah, so, so you just boat, that's about it. And I'll say, fine craft and logic.
Logic.
I'm going to use a sigil because I want this to be all right.
I don't have sigils.
Oh no.
Oh, it's plus 20.
Yeah, plus 20 to your logic.
That's good. That's a success.
How much?
38 success.
Okay, so that's a very decent success. So you you can make, like, how many people are you there? It's only literally you 4, and so there's 6 of you in there. You can make 3.
Shit,
And like,
nice.
in like the next month, you can easily make 3 proper ones with some
Yeah.
scavenged metal from the stocks and from the boat.
Hell yes.
Make yourself like nice 3 campstone suits.
Yeah.
One success.
Ah, well, you succeed.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you don't have the bomb sorted, but you've got the shape of the shape charges sorted. So you think like in the next month, like with everything you've done, if you can get the bombs right, you're fairly certain that you won't explode yourself when you do it.
Cool. That's good. We do not want to lose fingers.
I'm going to spend a sigil to luck reversal, so that 93 is now a 39.
Oh, there you
Look
go.
at that.
Hey, okay. Nice.
All right, so let me just.
Good use of a perk. Yeah, totally.
Okay. And she didn't roll too bad either for that.
That's a very useful perk.
Yeah.
That is very useful. Nice.
Unless you rolled like a 99, then it wouldn't like matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, doubles not so good, yeah.
Okay, so Max rolled really well as well. So between the two of you, you've at the end of this month, you've gotten like a decent blueprint for creating something that you think you'll need to constantly improve it over time. But you think that what if you can get this working on the start on the work for this, by the time the generator runs out of diesel, you'll have it sorted that it can you can just hook it up afterwards. So you've still got months and months and months of diesel, but by the time it runs out, you're happy that the lights will still keep going.
Awesome.
That's great. Nice.
Okay.
It's like a wood gasifier type thing.
Yeah.
I've just got a question about our old friend Vet. How's he doing in the last month? Is he actually helping?
Can I get
fine.
him to help me with the chemistry shit?
Okay, roll diplomacy minus 30.
I get a plus 15 because it's like psychopathy, which gives me plus 15 to skill checks for every grievous mental wound.
I thought it was only for physical mental wounds.
No, it just says for grievous mental wounds.
Okay.
That's why I took it. So it's like because I've got the grievous mental wounds. From House,
I thought it was only for combat.
There's one for combat and one
I can
for.
double check it.
There's physical wounds applying to combat, and there's mental wounds
No, it's
applying
good,
to skill checks.
Yeah, skill checks, right. Because I guess that would be you're meant to.
Okay, while you check that, his plan for the timing is using whatever glass containers you have in preparation for getting the hydroponics up and ready, but trialing it out now as
correct.
for combat.
Combat skill checks.
Making a still.
Oh.
He's like, well,
of course, yeah, of course.
if I can't have
yeah.
drugs, I'd rather be an alcoholic.
Okay.
So,
Not bad.
yeah, for him, you can sort of see he's just like, if he can make his own alcohol, no one can bother him. He's not using your alcohol, he's using his own alcohol.
Yeah.
Diplomacy
So-
minus 20.
30.
Minus 30.
So that's his.
97.
Hits me in the head with another.
Fuck that. 79. So bad.
Yeah. As you walk out at a room, you just hear and there's a dish tray just on the ground. He's like, well, I don't know where that came from. It's inside the hydroponics where he's just sort of use a room, just a corner of hydroponics, just set up a basic still. So it's literally just evaporate, come down, using some of the corn kernels you've got just to mash it up, see if you can actually get some alcohol out of it.
Nice. What I will have done with the extra 2 sets of armor is that I effectively just have them on coat hangers or just a rack or something like that, just by the not right by the entrance, but where our kind of container goes up towards it. So in that main area, so that if someone does need to suit up, be it whoever it is, they can just go ahead and chuck one of them on. So I've got 2 sets there, and I'm going to keep the other set just kind of folded underneath my bed unless it's needed.
All right. So a couple of questions. One is, are you still going by the rule of at night, shut in, nothing, no one out, nothing out, doors closed?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, unless something changes, I feel like that it's a working strategy for us right now.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Okay. Vidan, can you roll a perception check?
Only thing I will say is that we are going to be doing the midnight com check. Yeah, so that'll be like a new thing.
Yeah. So Max does one of those, and she'll do the midnight one. Who wants to do the noontime one?
I can do that.
Okay. For this time, nothing.
Yeah.
Because you just those 2 times, nothing happens. Just flat perception. Just plus 20, sorry.
Nah. 86.
Here I was hoping for
Okay.
King Power.
That's dangerous. The last time I had a pen pal, it didn't go so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I found a pen pal, my entire troop was wiped out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Pen pals suck.
Pen pals are dangerous in Zealand.
Yeah.
I mean, your pen pal was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for him.
For me, yeah, it's like for me, it was fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
About like getting close to the end of the month, at one of the mornings you go up, just doing like a morning check on what's going on down to the east. You see that with in the pit trap area, one's collapsed. So that there was only one out to the north that was open. I presume you probably would have closed it over by now, just to like.
Ideally, that would be great.
Yeah. So there was nothing. So, but now, something new is in. You don't know if it just collapsed or if someone's in there, but there is now a distinct black hole.
Okay.
Over there.
We're gonna die.
How long has it been?
About 4 weeks. Getting close to 4 weeks
Okay.
with your center injury.
Will I have one grievous wound gone by that time?
So you've got what?
I've got 2 grievous wounds to my torso.
And
That was actually a minor wound.
Minor windows moving a vertebrae.
It was thematic. It was
cool,
thematic.
I thought it was great. Yes.
Because it was a minor after 2 grievous and 2 significance.
Yeah.
So it's heavy.
It's on the same side, so
Yeah.
you're like burns and stuff, right? So it just looks cool.
Yeah.
It's
Just like
on the opposite side. Yeah, so I've got the burns, missing ear, part
now-
of
You're
my
not
on
a
that
very
side.
symmetrical guy.
no, because there is like you can see like a little dirt.
Yeah, I'm definitely growing the hair up now to
Welcome to the club.
cover them out a little bit more.
All right,
I will be
yeah.
shaving though.
So
Still
one
be shaving.
one of your grievous wounds are off your
Okay,
chest. So you
off
can
the
like
torso?
you can you're now just gone down to asthmatic. That's about you.
Okay.
Give us a
That's
Yoda impression.
Oh god.
Right. So yeah, first thing morning you scout out. You're like, oh, I wasn't there last night. Yesterday.
I'm gonna get the radio and radio down into the bunker and go, one of the pit traps has collapsed. I don't know if it's something in it or if it's collapsed or what, but there's now a black hole in the room. Not like a black hole, but like a dark hole.
If no one's on the comms,
Yeah, like
making breakfast, I'll just kind of go over and pick it up and answer. Yeah, reading you.
That'll come
Any
through walkies, right?
movement?
Yeah, like we could have said like while everyone's in there,
Oh,
like
yeah.
each room could have a walkie, just so
Oh,
every,
nice.
just so like
We
Any
can all-
movement that I can see, I'll use the telescope and start to look.
no, from your angle you can only like get like maybe like a foot into that hole. So
No movement that I can see, but I reckon we might need to go closer and
should
take a
take a-
look. I'm not gonna go myself if somebody else wants to come along.
I'd probably be eating breakfast things with you. so
Yeah,
that
I think
as well.
honestly we should take a few of us.
I can.
Me and Richard.
Yeah, we could do that. Maybe even just like try and chuck a rock in it or something. See if
yeah, remember
anything.
you've still got like you've got like
Two of
one
you can
leg.
go take a look.
Yeah.
I'll give you cover fire from up here if shit comes out.
But I can hobble rather than skulls.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was almost imagining with your leg, you would have like tried to brace it in such a way that it's like almost like a rigid thing. Like
Yeah.
He did.
on
I was thinking it was like
right?
the first lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like
You can Forrest Gump it.
yeah, effectively.
Kinda,
yeah.
Give you a gun. One of the handguns we've got.
I'll take my hand crossbow.
Yeah.
So nice and silent, just in case we need to.
Okay, so Richard and Dan going out.
I wouldn't mind some fresh air.
One of the things that I will.
Okay, you can come, but you're staying back, guys. Stand back a bit.
One of the things I would have instilled
If we need a run.
in this 1 month of time would have been if in these sort of circumstances, if I'm sitting at advantage, a hand signal that will say to me that I need to shoot because this big gun should be last resort, not just for there's a little bat.
Yeah.
It'll effectively be just like
Yeah, just
bullhorns like because I know that he's taken out a bull at some point apparently,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll just be like bullhorns.
Yeah.
So you know someone, they're like, yeah, rock on, man.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
Just that with bullhorns and then it's.
I'll just take my rifle over my shoulder, but I'll bring give Scott a handgun if he wants
Yep.
one, and
Yep.
I'll just be holding a handgun too, but just bring my rifle just in case as well.
I would make sure that both Dan and Richard gambison up before they go out with the bottoms and the top.
Oh yeah, cool. Well, I've still got my battle dress stuff as well.
Kibler.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Not sure how effective I'll be able to get into some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably the top.
I guess the thing is you put it on and then strap stuff over the top because, like, effectively that's what I'm going to try and do.
Yeah, go on.
We've been full winter now, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I will
This
have
is
done
getting
with
very
mine.
cold.
I'll wear it over the top of my thing then.
Yeah.
It was like first lockdown. I think was mid-February, March. So yeah, this is now. You did 2 month stint, and now it's a 3rd month stint. So yeah, this is now winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so it's June, July?
Yeah.
Yep, it's June. Yeah, it's June now.
Yeah.
Hey, it's my birthday.
Hey.
Happy birthday!
Oh yeah, by the way, happy birthday.
Don't die on your birthday.
As you get to the top of the hill, looking down, and you're like, "Oh, it's my birthday."
Right? Yeah, free central birthday?
Add a year to my age.
Yeah.
I'll step closer to those diminishing returns on physics.
What I would have done with my gambeson as well is I'd have like a hole in there that my hand goes into that it just kind of gets strapped into place there, and I just kind of like lock it off so that it's just
40 now again.
in there.
No. We're only like 3 years ahead of.
We're in 2023.
23, yeah.
Yeah.
You're only 2 years ahead.
Oh, yeah, 17.
It's kind of funny. You would realize, I feel like you would kind of have that realization the way Scott just did. Like Scott was saying, like you just walk over the door and be like, "Oh yeah, it's my birthday." Like,
Yeah.
wow, in fact,
Yeah.
I'm gonna die on
Probably
my
don't know where
birthday.
this is like, somewhere around here is my birthday.
Yeah.
Gambeson is sturdy armor.
I would say like how thick have you made it? Because like gambeson normally would be about soft armor.
Pretty.
Yeah.
It's winter, so you would have made it thick.
I mean, it
Yeah.
is. I would have designed it to be thick. To
Yeah,
be
so
able
it's
to-
sturdy armor, minus 25.
Yeah.
I will wear
At
that.
least 3 seats.
I'll just wear one on my as a jacket almost around.
Yeah.
It's
Around my.
effectively to be like the same kind of level of protection that Jake and Nick were
Okay.
getting with the firefighter gear.
Yeah.
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 So that it's really, really hot in summer if you're going to wear it all the time. But
But
if
it's
you're
winter.
going into battle, or if it's winter,
We'll just be quite quiet when we approach the thing, and maybe I'll just chuck a rock or whatever is around down there and see if we can hear anything. Sound like a plan?
I just say to Max and the doc, just if there's any trouble, just radio.
Yeah.
We'll still be able to hear you.
Max says she will be like just closing the doors, so just radio when you're coming back, and she'll because she said she will lock them.
Sure.
So just radio back.
Okay.
Right. So as you get closer, so your plan is just like chuck a rock and see what happens?
Yeah.
I'm keeping them in my sights. As soon as they get close enough to the thing where they can chuck a rock, I'm aiming at the hole.
Yeah, just being very quiet.
Got hand crossbow out.
Just our footsteps and stuff.
Okay.
Keeping distance as well.
Spear out in
Right.
front of me.
Roll luck as you throw the rock in the general direction of the hole.
70 fail.
No, that's a 7 success.
Ah, 7. Yeah, sorry, I read that wrong. Yeah,
It's all good.
7
Gotcha.
success.
007.
Oh, there you go.
Hell yeah.
Martini
disappears.
Yeah, like what I think. Have you seen? You hear nothing.
Do it again. Something. See if we can find something bigger. Like a.
No response. That one actually manages to hit inside. Nothing.
It's early morning, yeah?
Well, by the time you get out, walk all the way there, we'll call it about. You think with your navigator, you're like
Yes,
with the sun in
yeah,
that position at this time of year. I'm thinking it's about 9 o'clock.
Okay, right. What's sea level? We're very close to sea level. Yeah.
Some northwesterly wind.
Yeah.
All right.
You're
Golden
orienting in an
sunshine.
east-northeast direction,
Current barometric pressure.
just above 1.
Approach the hole.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the same as well. Have the spear out in front just in case anything does a horror movie jump out.
Okay, you
Just,
get closer
slowly edge closer.
and closer, aiming. And you guys would know exactly the angle because you'd be like, oh yeah, there he is. So you don't approach and block the view.
Yeah.
As you get closer, nothing. You get even closer, nothing. You poke your spear over, nothing. As you look in
Oh god.
and you look down, it's a dead animal.
Okay.
What is the animal?
A dog.
Okay.
Some sort of mongrel. Yeah, so it's got fur. Some sort of mongrel breed. You couldn't tell. You think there might be some Alsatian in there somewhere, but that's about as close as you can tell the breed. It's from the look of it. It seems when it fell down, it broke its neck and got itself impaled.
Little thing. Do you think we should
Also, it's not making any sounds. You can't see breathing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick scan around
Yeah.
the horizon.
All right.
Do you think we guys should mean, like, getting this thing out of here might, attract more. Right?
Yeah, at the very least, we
smell and stuff.
cover it up, put it,
Yeah.
bury it, I guess, so it doesn't bring
Maybe burying it.
anything in the area with,
Why not?
smell.
We've got a lot of sand around here.
Yeah.
A lot of ash.
It is about a good 10 feet drop down in there.
Yeah. So kick it in over the side, or bring it over.
Because it is
and
all the way at the
reset
bottom.
This.
Yeah.
no,
So
for
like,
sure.
you'll have to climb down a 10-foot
Oh,
hole.
no. I mean, just like
Shovel.
Oh,
Shovel.
oh, okay, right.
We've got
just
some
kinda-
shovels.
just kinda cover it.
You'd probably try and fishing hook it out with your spear, maybe.
I reckon we just literally don't have to fill the entire hole. Like, it's good that we kind of still know where these things are, so we don't, forget and fall in ourselves. So as long as we just cover the animal enough that it's like this decomposition is
Well, because
masked a bit.
each of these are around like the little shiny things, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, so about a
That's how
foot
we-
Nick, just on the side of there is like a nice little pole with a whole lot of shiny, and like this one is one with like half a wind chime, so it is like gently making noise in the
We
breeze.
should do a walk around and check the others while we're out here as well, just in case there's one we can't see or from the hill.
I mean, yeah. No, that does make sense. See if we can just follow its tracks.
Okay, so roll investigation to see where you can follow tracks. You covered with sand just enough to cover it.
Yeah.
Put the tarp back over, scatter some sand around the edges to hide it.
Yeah.
Then you start looking for where this dog came from.
Is anyone helping me look for these tracks?
Yeah.
Okay, so just add plus 20 then to your roll for the help.
65 fail.
So
close.
you can find it, going in a southeast, like it came from the southeast, but as soon as you really go outside of the more sandy area that the pit traps are all in, it gets a bit hard gravel, a bit rocky, and you immediately lose its trail. So you can see where it came into the pit trap, but not which direction it came in general.
Just going to take my mask off because I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. Just kind of pull it down.
Yeah, so you can breathe better.
Well, we can do a look around.
Yeah, just double check the others that we know of.
Seeing that these guys have started to relax to around.
Hold up a...
Yeah.
You're like, is that two horses?
Seeing that, I'm gonna start moving my scope over to the other pit traps.
Okay, so pit traps are fine. Just roll perception minus 20. I know you've got a scope, but this is more since you're focused there. You just want to see if you see something else while these chaps make their way back.
7 success. Another 007.
Oh,
More martinis.
yeah. You see two olives.
I think that suggests that Doc has got the still running.
Yeah. He's got it running. It's not martinis, but it's
he's been
something.
working up for your birthday.
They're not martinis made right.
Yeah. Okay, so as you just look at it and you go around, for almost like a brief second, as you look towards the eastern horizon, you think amongst all the clouds and stuff, you see smoke, but you can't be sure. The wind is fairly strong, and this was through your telescopic scope.
Oh, so not through my gun scope, but the telescope?
Yeah. So as you look through it and you have a look around, it's extremely far away. You're like, I think that's smoke. I'm not sure. It's definitely over the horizon, over a hill, easy 10 maybe k's away. You're not sure. Beyond the wasteland, clearly. Otherwise, you can't do anything here.
Say east.
East thinks it's east, but you can see the wind is moving the clouds from north to south. It's a northerly.
I'm gonna radio that in and go, smoke on the east side somewhere. Well, about 10, 15 k's beyond beyond where we are, past the Badlands. I can't really tell, but it seems like smoke, so we may want to keep an eye out that way.
Yeah, that'd be worth keeping an eye on throughout the day.
What colour smoke?
Black. You thought it was black,
It seemed like it was black.
but there was some storm clouds on the horizon. So.
Could have been nothing, but I'll keep an eye out on that for the rest of the day, and let you know if there's anything else.
If you need to tap out at any point, just give us a holler.
Will do. If you can bring me up one of those things that Doc's been working on, that'd be nice.
All right, don't go blind.
He brings up a lunch tray.
Thank you.
No,
We call this one the lunch train because it's going to knock you on your ass.
All right, by
Grievous mental.
Yeah, do a poison resistance check. So at noon when you're at the radio, roll luck.
77.
Okay. In the middle of the night, after everyone has another proper drink session, this time with Doc's Moonshine, to celebrate Dan's birthday, you're all awoken in a very groggy state by Max. It was her turn on the radio, and she heard something. And as she said, well, the main thing, it's, you've got to come look at this. Mainly because she can't quite make it out. When she turns to a specific channel, there's static on the channel, and it's a horrible static. There's something coming through, and it's very garbled. But I want... funny to people who would have been amazing at this is not here. Everyone here roll intuition minus 20.
Okay.
Oh boy!
14.
It's been a sigil.
Hey,
Plus
you
5.
go.
No. 84 fails.
61 fail.
20 success.
Okay.
Ooh, nice. 63 fail.
Okay. Dan, you're the only one who can... because it's a constant, garbled stream is coming through, and it sounds like it's maxing out the inputs on their side, so it's also that feedback you get from when there's just too much sound going into a mic. But after hearing it, it's not it's a repeated message, although it's not an automated repeat. Someone's just screaming into a mic, and eventually you hear they're just saying, "Please come help! Oh dear God, please come help!" And that is where we end the session.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
Well, Dan's hearing something amongst the static. A scream for help, a familiar voice, or a stranger? Guess we'll find out. That'll be next week, so please do accompany us then as we return. For now, though, that has been our episode. We're all still alive. We're planning for the future, mending ourselves, and, well, just keeping on. It's the best we can do.
Surviving.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. Please do join us next week. For now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. Until next time, stay breathing. That's the one.